Hey everybody, Scoutcrafter here again. It's Friday, TGIF. You made it through another week. It's a big Friday because this is the beginning of Memorial Day weekend. Monday is Memorial Day, big holiday. And we're flying the flag proudly. And we used to have a parade that used to pass here in front of my house every year since I can remember, but the problem was COVID shut it down for a couple of years. And this is what the parade looked like. It came in front of the house, and I always enjoyed it, but we'll have to do without again this year. Maybe next year we'll be back, but right now we got a few things to take care of before we get downstairs and start today's episode.
Up, we set up we're going to have a little bit of a fire tonight, a Memorial Day start-off fire. And some of the cats here, like Trixie, has never seen a fire before, so I wonder what how she's gonna take to it, but we'll have that later on. And do you remember this tree? I think it's called the Tree of Paradise or something. A lot of people are getting a lot of hate towards this tree because it's kind of a weed tree. I have to tell you, I love this tree. Small leaves. It has a nice shape to it. The birds like it, and it also it lasts through everything, drought and everything. You might remember I cut this tree in half because when they were removing some of the tree back here. But look at this. Even though it's cut right at the top here, I cut it right in half. It's growing new sprouts, and isn't that interesting? And I left this trunk here. Remember this trunk? I left it here because of these vines, these crazy Jumanji vines. And I wanted to put something up there like a big birdhouse or something, so I left this here. But today, I have to take care of this. Now, this is something I didn't see because this was closed off. This was a vine that grew on here, and I'm telling you, this vine will, even though I cut the bottom, I severed it. It's an ivy vine, and these things, I'm telling you, talk about strong. You can't get these off, so I got to get kind of pry bar and start prying this off, get this off here. That's today's first. Now, the tools I'll use to get these out. This is an old file that somebody bent into a nice hook. I've been using this for years, and then of course I'll use my my Bridgeport hooker here, and again just getting inside here, and then I use a rubber or a neoprene mallet to make sure they don't damage my tools.
Now, I had no idea how destructive ivy can be after a while. You know, when it first grows up, any kind of those growing or climbing vines, they're very thin, and they kind of just, gently grab on the side of the house. You can pull it off. But once they've been there for some years and they get thick, they really dig in. And that was hard, but I'm glad we got those off. That's all done. So today we're going to start off, and we're going to, because it is the last video of the month, we are going to talk about what we did. Now, we do about 12 episodes a month, so, if we can get close to that in tools, we're doing all right. The first one we started with, I brought upstairs, was that #1 Walworth pipe wrench, that really cool pipe wrench. We did that. That came out real nice. Then we did these nice Utica 1000s. Can you see that? We reprofiled them, and I got to tell you something. The more I look at these, the more I like them. It's just, what a heavy-duty needle nose pliers. Really nice. We did that. Then we did the Crescent Scoutcrafter model of the folding screwdriver. And I brought this to Jacktown, and I let a lot of people, feel it and touch it. The people that never actually seen the screwdriver before, and they were blown away because of the quality of this type of screwdriver. Try and get one of these if you can. I also brought down, which everybody got a kick out of, was that homemade machinist screwdriver, and people could not believe the weight of this thing. Everybody was passing this around. It was a lot of fun. Really cool screwdriver. That was a lot of fun to do. We also did the, I don't know, what did we pay for this? $1 or $2, something like that. Remember, it was really cheap. We did the hammer. This is a Stanley Steelmaster, and this is a nice little hammer. We did that. Again, it's a homeowner hammer. You wouldn't take it to a construction site in front of the rest of the guys. Then we did the socket set of, and a lot of people were saying this might have been a repurposed tool that it looks very similar to a Snap-on, that the handle might have been homemade and whatever, but the sockets look close. So this was an interesting little piece. And then we did the Boardman multi-tool here, and This is very interesting, huh? Very nice, very nicely done, nice and smooth. A little bit of oil in there, but yeah, this is nice. And then all these will go upstairs then after this. Then we did Noah's challenge. Noah brought in these great channel lock lineman pliers, and these are just beautiful, aren't they? Came out nice. The handles came out nice. So that was another good project. We didn't. Everybody loved this one, right? The padlock, the heavy duty padlock, and again, just so you can hear what this sounds like, it turns up 1, 2, 3, and listen to this. Can you hear that? Let me get this key here. Listen. You can hear the quality, and it is a solid, nice lock. And yeah, this was a lot of fun. And then we did the trim jack. This, you know, a lot of people were like, you know, it needs a little red. Some people were saying save it, you know, leave it the way it is. But nice. This was a fun project, and never heard of trim jack before this project. This was Ed gave this really nice one. Enjoyed this. And then we finished up the month with this very rare spark plug, pickup spark plug wrench, you know. So you know, very interesting. Again, perfect candidate for a weld repair, you know, but it would have to be a good one, like a TIG or something like that. You grind this down a little bit, weld it, and then just sand it flat again. This is the kind of repair that would be perfect. But, you know, obviously you got to get somebody who knows what they're doing. Otherwise, you get all kinds of retempering, discoloring, you know. So I wouldn't attempt that with my welding skills or equipment, but nice little tool. So it's been a very productive and enjoyable month. Now, this is where you come down, and I don't want to make this video too long. I'm sorry about Wednesday's video. That went really long, 30 minutes almost. That was the longest video ever. But we had a lot to get to, and I have a lot of stuff here that has to be done. And I'm sitting here now. I just have to take a second, say, what do I feel like doing? It's a holiday weekend. I don't know how many people will be watching or whatever, but we want to get something nice done to start the month off. So let's see what we can conjure up. To start things off, I thought we would start off with one of my, you know, the things I like to do. But I love these heavy-duty screwdrivers, and you remember this one from my acquisitions over in the Jersey Craft Fair and or Craft Show. And if you look here, you could see here. Look very closely. I'll try and get the light. It says that H, D, and S. See this H? It's kind of missing a little mark in the middle, so it looks like 2 lines, but that's HDS. That's HD Smith and Company. Perfect handle. Patent August 25th, 1903. And again, we don't usually see that. I've never seen a perfect handle that was so beefy, so incredibly heavy duty. But one of the drawbacks is the blade is so thick it don't fit a lot of screws, so a lot of people do what they did here and they mangle up the front. Now some of the problems we have with here, we have to keep this, we can't, you know, we have to keep the lettering, right? And this is very pitted, but there was something put over it, almost like a shellac over the pitting to try and stop it. And you know, it's just, it feels like alligator. It's horrible. We're going to try and fix the tip. Remember what the tip looks like. The back, thank goodness, wasn't banged on too much. We're going to fix the, you know, fix that. And you can see the sides here where this looks like it might be a nice grain wood, but it is, you see the swelling of the wood where it pushes up. And but it is, the handles are tight. So what do you say we see if we can save this, make it look like it should, the perfect handle. We're going to put this into the Stanley 700 vise to hold it, but remember, because this is tapered, remember what we said about wrapping a kind of a rag around the smaller part of the taper here, and then putting it into the vise, and then the pressure will hold it. And you could see as we get closer, you could see that'll give you a nice purchase on there without putting too much pressure on the grip. Secondly, since we want to keep the lettering, you know, and you're always a little bit rusty, even if you haven't done it for a week or so, the best thing to do is to do all 3 sides first and do the last one with the perfect, with the lettering. So let's get started. Okay, we kind of roughed it out. You could see here, we got rid of the pitting, that horrendous pitting, kept all the lettering, although it's not, you know, as shiny as the rest because we didn't even touch it actually. We went around it. So we're going to hit this with the 5-wheel to try and bring it up. And now we have to do the blade and refinish the blade, you know. So we do that on the 6 by 36 belt sander. So let's get to that. And then we have to do the edges. Remember the edges? Remember those corners, how they get sharp when you take a little bit off? We're going to have to redo those. So let's go to the belt sander. Okay, here we go. We reprofiled the tip. You could see it looks nice coming all the way up here, both sides. You see, we got out that big dip, and we added a little bit of thickness to the tip, which is, you know, this is what actually it should have looked like. And now we just gotta put the flats on all of here. We'll do that with the flap disc because we can hold it nice and level, and then we'll start working on the handle. Okay, now what we did was we just finished scraping down the handle. The reason we scraped down the handle, even though we're going to sand it down in a couple minutes, is because, number one, it's a very satisfying operation. There are a few things that we do in restoring tools or working on something that is extremely satisfying, and that's one of them, is scraping down a wood handle. And the other one is, of course, lubricating the pliers, as we know, another satisfying operation. But after we scrape it down, it also keeps the belt from clogging up with whatever was on there, some varnish, hand oil, things like that, grease. So now what we're going to do is we're going to sand this down. That'll fix up the edges here, and you can see it's coming along very nicely. So let's do that. Okay, this is just before the fiber wheel. The fiber wheel will take out some of those minute scratches in here. You can see, you know, the fiber wheel will dull it out a little bit, but it'll give it a nice finish. And then we have to apply a coating on this. We took out all the finish here. We still have to brighten up these rivets here with the Dremel, just to make sure that they're bright and shiny like these, and see what it looks like. Okay, we have a couple hours into this project, and now we just stained the handle with some gun stock stain, but that takes a couple hours to dry before we can do anything. So while we're waiting, let's go upstairs. Around this time of year, I always have my traditional bonfire. As you know, fires in New York City of any type are illegal. So I always make a fire that I can extinguish quickly when I hear the fire department coming. Anyway, I used to have fires, and this is how I would retire some old or unserviceable flags. But right now, let's go upstairs, enjoy it. It's a nice, cool night, and let's go to it. Boy, that sure was relaxing, wasn't it? I wish I would have had some marshmallows. I didn't have any. And I have to tell you, a fire literally feeds the soul. And if you haven't had one in a while, you don't know what you're missing out on. It doesn't have to be a big one, but just something that you really enjoy. And I think you should go out and one night have one in your backyard or something. It'll take you back to better times. Now, getting back to our project, you know my favorite part. Remember what this screwdriver looked like before we started? And we're calling this project done. This one here just came out lovely, didn't it? And let's take a look at what we did. We reprofiled the tip here, so it's back to the way it would have looked originally from the factory. Right thickness we have going here, and we put all the facets back on the way it should have looked, and everything is nice, right? All the pits are gone. Was able to keep the perfect handle logo on there. And look at that, just beautiful. How you can see the grain of the steel. And now let's look at the handle here. The handle we did with the gun stock stain, just brings out that grain. And look at that, you could still see the grain. It's not clogged up with the extra coats of, you know, you got to take it down with steel wool in between each coat until you want to be able to see the grain, but still have a nice sheen to it. And, you know, this handle was really messed up, but the back came out really nice like we like to do. Looks really terrific, and just a beautiful, perfect handle. And this is perfect now because there's no more lip over there. Remember the extended lips on the back? And this is just beautiful. I can't tell you what this feels like in the hand, but I'm sure you know because you've felt these before. And just a terrific, heavy-duty, perfect handle screwdriver. I've never seen one with the the heavy-duty square shank like this. I've always seen them with the rounded shank. So this one was a fun project, and it was a $10 screwdriver. Well worth it. Okay, so in closing, that came out really nice. I hope you enjoyed the project. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a great weekend. Take care now. Bye-bye.